Welcome back to the channel. I'm Baz, you're watching Venture Offroad Australia 4x4, back with the boat again and another boat project. So if you watched the last video, you would have seen that once I finished doing the repair on the hull of the boat, I realised that one of the bunks had a big crack in it. So I've put a splint on that so that at least it's not going to break in transit, because I've got to put the boat in the water to be able to replace the bunk. I've gone out and I've gotten some F17 hardwood to replace the bunk timber with. I'm told that it's Victorian ash, so nice hardwood. And I've also gotten some black polyethylene strips that'll go on top of that, and hopefully that'll be a lot more slippery than the old, what I think is PVC. I'm just laying the timber in there, and I've just made some marks. I don't even know if you can see that on camera. There you go. Because I need to take out a couple of notches there where it passes over the chassis. So there's the notch there, and that one's obviously not sitting in there at the moment. That's how that seems to be working, so I'll do that the same, but I will cut the notch. That one, the notch is sitting on the chassis, and there you go. I don't actually need to cut the front one. Let's have a look at the other side. So we do have a notch on that side, so that's interesting, isn't it? Makes you wonder if that is properly set up so that the boat sits level on there. So I've got 3 notches on this side. So based on that, I think I'll cut the notches in all 3 positions on both sides, and then if I need them, I need them. If I don't, I don't, but they're at least there. And I can adjust up and down those brackets if I need to adjust the bunks higher or lower to level it out. But maybe when I'm putting those in, I'll have to have a bit of a closer look, maybe put a level across there, or I'm not sure how I'll test to see if they are actually at the same height, measure to the ground, but then I've got to make sure that the ground is level that I'm measuring on, don't I? So not exactly sure how I'll do that, we'll see. For now, let's cut those notches out. I'll just chisel that out, and I should have a nice cutout. One down, another 2 to go. Come and meet my goats. This is Lola. She's the mama goat. This is Toby, or Tub Nubs, and Clay over here. They're pretty cool. They're just like dogs, except they eat everything. There you go, bud. They love a pat, and if I'm out here working or anyone's outside, then they want to be part of it. Look at this little country goat here. Good pets. We love them. back to the job though. So I'm pretty happy with that. That one I could potentially go a little more, but I think I'm pretty good anyway. I'm happy with that. So obviously that's going to sit up a little bit, but I'm trying to give myself a little bit more of an angle there. Make it more of maybe a 35-degree angle rather than a 45. And what I've done is I've left the front end at a 45. So if for some reason that isn't going to work at the back, I can actually just swap them over. Alright, now the timber's done, the next thing to do is attach these HDPE strips. So that's high density polyethylene plastic. Now I'm hoping I'm going to be able to soften just on the ends there so I can bend around the corner rather than having to cut it and butt it together, but either way it'll do the job. So let's get stuck into that and see how we go. What I'm using is 316 stainless steel 10G 30mm screws. So I'm going to pre-drill. I'm going to leave about 10mm overhang on the plastic past the timber, just to make sure that we don't get any boat contact with the timber. It's always going to be with the plastic. So here we go. Just trim off that excess there, and that'll be the job done. Did you do your tie off good?
Yeah. Yeah, I do it good. Not moving at all.
Alright, Lady Emma's in the water. She's sitting there floating. There was a little bit of water that was in that buoyancy chamber, and at first I thought, oh no, it's still leaking. Then I thought there's more damage that I haven't actually realised. But now I'm thinking, I know there was a little bit of water. There gets some condensation from the water tank that normally sits between the water tank and the buoyancy chamber. And I'm thinking maybe as the boat's, tipped up on an angle going down the boat ramp, that maybe there's a crack in that buoyancy chamber, and that's, the water's just moved from one area to another. I'm just going to, leave it sitting there floating for a while, but there doesn't seem to be any new water. And I don't know, it wouldn't even be a quarter of a cup. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that, and while that's happening, I'm going to change out these skids. You can see that crack, and it runs back along, I'm not sure how far, but that splint held it pretty nicely for the drive here. Broken it, and that's what I was expecting to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the original bolts. That feels really weak. There you go. It's split through there as well. That is well and truly ready for replacement. Galvanised bolts, washers and nuts, because we've got a galvanised trailer and I don't want dissimilar metal corrosion. I'll just do that up lightly. How do you do?
G'day, how you going?
Good, thanks. Getting there anyway.
Beg your pardon?
Getting there anyway.
Is that your yacht?
It is, yeah.
It's a lovely little boat.
Yeah. I've just repaired the hull, and so I thought put it in the water, sit it there for a couple of hours and make sure it still floats before I go and put it down in the bay. Here we are in Lady Emma doing the float test. I'm just going to have a look down into this port now and make sure there's no water. I'd call that a success. There was actually a little bit of water that was sort of coming into that area when we first put the boat into the water, and I thought, oh no, there's some more damage. It had me confused for a minute, but then I remembered that there's a bit of condensation that comes off the water tank when it's just sitting at home on the trailer or anywhere for that matter, and it just pulls underneath the battery. So either I've left one of the little ports out of the buoyancy chamber underneath the battery, or there's a small hole in there and it was just able to just dribble through. Wouldn't have even been a quarter of a cup, but had me worried momentarily, but turned out it was nothing to worry about. So it looks like Lady Emma is all ready to go back in the water. Until then, take it easy and we'll see you in the next video. Coming up in the next video. First sail, post damage, post repair. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment, give us a like, and we'll see you in the next video.